What's up, guys? Welcome to another exciting edition of Real Estate Podcast, episode 338. I'm here with Griffin.
I'm here with Trav.
And I'm packing my church warden with that hobbit weed with Adam.
That hobbit weed.
Dude, Garrett ordered one of those pipes one time.
I mean,
They had them on like Bud K. You remember? You could get like Frodo's sword.
yeah.
I'm like, does it glow?
Yeah, when there are orcs nearby.
I remember one of our when one of our local junk stores had a replica of Sting. In the back is behind the jewel case, and I remember it was there. It was like a commemorative, it was a real scaled version of it, but like it had the authenticity to it and everything. It was one of those buys that got away. Like the older me would have been like, I think I'm gonna part with some money and throw this on the wall, but
Yeah. So I'll be the first to admit. So I watched the original trilogy, of course, as they released, and then I went and watched Two Towers and Return of the King in theaters. I think I went to the midnight screening of Return of the King, or Two Towers. I went to one of them. I went opening night. So I watched them when they released, on DVD, and then watched the extended versions when they released. And I haven't watched Lord of the Rings since then.
Nah, dude, at least 10 years.
Yeah, it's been a very long time for me.
yeah.
And Jesus Christ, does this movie hold up?
Dude, it had been so
absolutely.
long that everything kind of run together.
Yeah,
I'm like,
right.
wow, what do they do in this movie? Oh, there's that thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's beautiful film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's always been kind of brought up from time to time, like, one of the things that the movie's known for, because, I mean, this is one of those big budget franchises that managed to, full blown win some, it won a ton of Academy Awards, had at least a ton of nominations,
Mhm.
and just the scenery, like, people, my wife's one of them too, that gives these movies crap because it's a lot of walking, but it's like, no, man, if you're taking in the scope of where they're filming
Yeah.
at, the places, like all that,
New
just
Zealand.
it's
Yeah.
just I mean, I could sit and watch drone footage of New Zealand landscapes, and I think I'm cool with it.
Like I
Oh,
could live in the
God.
Shire.
Yeah,
I
for
kind
sure.
of did one time. I mean, pretty much, man.
This go around, because I'm kind of there with Griffin when he was saying on the his different viewings of it. Have a couple of more under the belt just because the children got into it, and so they watched the movies. Like this is one of the kids' favorite film series, and usually they would watch it. They would watch it yearly. So, I mean, me sitting along for the ride was just in bits and pieces here. But as far as like sitting down, like gonna take it in for myself and experience the journey again, it was a pleasant. I'm really, and I'm glad we're watching them.
Dude,
Yeah.
I was on the edge of the bed, mouth breathing.
Um,
And I never got comfortable. I sat there that whole time. I was like, my back hurts later. But
yeah, right.
it's
I
like
was
as
kind
soon
of
as
the same.
Gandalf shows up and he hops in there and he's like, Gandalf. I'm just like, yeah, Gandalf.
I mean, yeah, you're back. You're right
Yeah,
back
dude.
right back in the wagon with him, dude.
I was.
Yeah.
There was I don't know if y'all caught this at the beginning, but I never noticed it for some reason until this go around. But I died when I heard it when whenever it's the moment where Gandalf and Frodo are talking about the ring. I think it's the very first time, like,
Mhm.
um, and
Like whenever
Sam,
he busts in and yeah, when he's digging in the
yeah,
weeds.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's this part where when that goes down, Gandalf grabs him, yanks his ass through that window, and he's like, Samwise Gamgee. He's like, were you eavesdropping on our conversation? Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And Sam's like, he was like, no, Mr. Gandalf, sir, I'll be dropping no eaves on
Yeah,
you.
he did say, I'm dropping the weeds.
Dude, I fucking lost it, man. Like, it was hilarious.
How like Ian McKellen,
Oh, dude.
he puts on a fucking performance of a lifetime.
Him and I would argue Christopher Lee
For
both.
sure.
Yeah.
Anytime either one of those actors are on screen in this movie, and for the subsequent films as well, they steal the fucking show.
Like when they
Mhm.
fight, dude, that was a proper wizard fight. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he
Yeah.
was like
Oh,
spinning
man.
around.
Oh, I remember seeing that, and I remember that fight in theaters because I was just like, now this is how you fucking throw down with some magic at the time, you know?
Yeah.
Well,
And
dude,
but
Christopher Lee is like, come on, this dude looks like a bad guy.
oh, he's a
Look
legend.
at the thing he stays in. It's like he's going, I'm going to go get his help. As soon as you see
Yes.
his staff, it's like,
Yeah.
this is a bad
And-
dude here.
And I found myself just kind of just, you know, when it comes to these revisits, you know, it's always nice to be able to watch it because, you know, you're able to kind of let the part of you that's following the story kind of hang, like ride shotgun, and you can kind of take in the more technical stuff, you know.
Mhm.
10 years of pre-production, man,
Mhm.
all over the screen, every
Yeah.
single frame, dude.
Yeah.
And I mean, it goes to show you just how, like, that was something I was telling my wife. The more I watched the movie, the angrier I got at Hollywood, because this film came out in 2001, right?
Mhm.
hmm
Okay, it's 2023. This movie holds up better
Yeah.
on a visual level than, like, Peter Jackson has been able to make 3 films that no matter how much CGI, Unreal Engine shit Marvel cooks up, it doesn't pale to it.
Yeah.
Like, none of it does. I mean, as much as you know, I know we're talking about 2 completely
Well,
different
they don't put the
franchises
kind of
here,
time into,
but
plus
like,
the
yeah,
practical effects with the, I mean, dude, he started working on that in like 1991. And when
Yeah.
you go back and
And
watch that footage, because I've seen that, I sat around with Garrett and watched it. He had it on a, I think DVD or something, but we watched the whole. Remember when they released that? And you
Mhm.
could just watch them like making the suits, and it got footage of everything,
Yeah.
proof of them, and it's like some shitty ass like DV cam footage.
I mean,
Little
just
mini
just
DV.
the sheer amount of quality put into this film, and you know, the whole series. I mean, I know we're just honing in on Fellowship tonight, but just as a whole, man, like this. I mean, there's a
It
reason
holds
why
up, man.
not. Yeah, there's definitely a reason why Lord of the Rings also holds up as the, you know, the standard for fantasy and the literature spectrum. But they like Jackson was able to take it and make it the same standard on a cinematic level.
Yeah.
And that's one of the hardest things I think you can do when you're taking a story and crossing it over mediums, you know?
Yeah. Absolutely. And dude, like the amount of fucking ground that they cover, because
Yeah.
I never noticed it in my previous viewings, but whenever they're in the snow or before they get to the snow and they're like, we've been traveling for 40 days already. And it's like, God damn. Like these
Oh, I mean,
motherfuckers
And this
put
is the
some
extended
miles in.
version, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, brilliant pacing, you know? Like you
Mhm.
like when, yeah, or for instance, when they roll up at the tavern, like when they leave the
Oh, yeah.
Shire and they're talking
Yeah.
to the dude when we
like,
first
"It's a
when we
pint."
first get our glimpse of Aragorn,
So
they make a
cool.
point. They make a point to let you know that, you know, when Frodo goes up to the bartender, he's like, "Yo, I'm looking for Gandalf." He goes, "I ain't seen him in 6 months."
Yeah.
It's
like,
like,
damn.
what? Yeah,
Yeah.
6
like
months.
six months since he left him. They parted in the woods, you
Well, it
know.
was the
Yeah.
bartender
Yeah.
that said that. The guy at the
Yeah,
bar, he was like,
and
he hadn't been here and since, and it's like, whoa, and they're like, oh, we came all this way. Dude, Viggo
now,
Mortensen, dude,
oh,
is
killing
so
it.
fucking good as that character. There's always this scene that I remember every time I watch this. I love it. Whenever he's like, I'm gonna go look around, and Frodo wakes up and they got a fire,
Yeah.
And then it's like Packins. These motherfuckers start showing up. That
Yeah.
shot where he's fighting them and it does that. It's that crane shot after he kicks everybody's ass.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes in sideways and he's like checking all the hallways.
Yeah.
That's such a cool shot, man.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, absolutely, dude.
And that
Oh.
character, Aragorn as a character, is such an incredibly well written character, man.
I think he's my favorite.
Yeah. Look, that painting
Wow.
behind them at Rivendell, where the sword's at, the broken one, that picture in the back, dude, wants it.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, that was cool.
that was the most heavy metal cover, like just sitting there. But yeah, I was trying to figure out who was going to be the character I'm gonna be in the back. You know, I'm gonna be following all the way through. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because we have a you know, it's your classic. I mean, there's even the moment like when they're on the mountainside and Saruman's fucking with them in the snow, and you know they're like, you know, Gandalf is like, man, we really don't need to go to Moria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's this whole moment where they're like, we gotta get the fuck off the mountain because the hobbits are gonna die. And it just cuts to Gandalf. He goes straight up. Dungeon master. He goes,
Yeah.
let the hobbit decide.
It was like it was like playing D&D, man.
Yeah, man.
Really.
Yeah. Dude, the Mines of Moria, like
that fucking Balrog scene, dude.
Well, and that's the that's the thing that I noticed the most about this is like, you know that when they go in the mines, the Balrog and all that happens, you forget about the fucking troll and all the goblins and fucking orcs that they fight.
I forgot about him knocking
that
shit in that hole. It was like, oh,
Yeah.
they just look at him, and he's like, why don't you fucking throw yourself in the hole next time?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm with him, dude. You're gonna have to roll.
And to add to what we said earlier about McKellen's performance, man, the look on his face when Frodo goes, "We will go through the mines." He's like, "Fuck."
Yeah. To have such long hair, a giant fucking wizard hat, and a fucking big ass beard, that's the most facting I've ever seen Ian McKellen do in my life.
He's killing it. When he's
when
he's hitting the pipe, whenever he comes in there and he's like, "Where's fucking where's Bilbo?"
Oh, I mean,
he's sitting there in the front of the fireplace thinking about that ring.
Yeah,
he's like, the penitent man.
Yeah, dude. Every scene, that had him and Bilbo talking, was incredible.
Yeah,
because obviously somewhere in all of it, and I'm sure Tolkien must have had his various different ways or different meanings, I guess, with some of the stuff. But the idea that, like, if you look at Bilbo as like an addict,
yeah,
and the way Gandalf, you know, he extends the helping hand to the addict that thinks he's alone, you know, and seeing that dynamic kind of happen with that, like, you know, you could totally take anyone who is the ring bearer outside of Sauron, and you're like, that's the addict's tale. Like, that's the, you know, it's that story of, you know, trying to break away from the clutches of addiction and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like when Gollum, when he says, when he was like, my precious, he said, oh, somebody's called it that before.
Well, he goes back to the annals, and you're seeing a lot of people write that have had the ring. They're writing about it. They're like, yeah, my precious totem or artifact, and he's like,
he wouldn't even
fucking
touch
word.
It. He was like, mm-mm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm a good wizard, but that thing will corrupt me. I don't want to.
Yeah, and that explanation, he was like, I don't need to touch it. I don't need to have anything to really do with it, because if it corrupts me, I will fuck everything. Like,
well, the way I interpreted it, the way he says it in the film, because I feel like this is a type of story where it's like, dude, as much as, you know, we've done a lot of movies based on books and all that stuff, like they stand on their own.
Yeah.
Like, they're that fucking good that it's like, who cares what changes or, you know, happened here and there and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, just
and the contrast, I love towards the end of the flick where you have them, they get off the little boats, they're out looking for for firewood, and then Boromir's like, I fucking want that ring, motherfucker. Like, we got to figure out what the fuck's going on, and like and then you have not long after that scene, that moment that Aragorn
Yeah.
and Frodo have where
like, I'm just
he's
trying to
like
help you.
he's holding it in his hand, and he goes and closes his hand around it, and he's like, I'll follow you to the ends of the earth. Like, it's such a
Oh,
powerful fucking
dude.
scene, dude. It's so good, man.
Well, I mean,
Like,
you know, you're mentioning the end of the film, but even so much so as like around the end of the first half, where the Fellowship's fucking forged, like there's the whole thing where you see all the different heads of these different races of men. They're all just bickering back and forth, back and forth.
Oh, in the
And
reflection in the ring,
yeah.
when
yeah,
Frodo's looking at it, and he's like, I'm gonna have to do it.
and Frodo
Yeah.
just straight up, and he goes, "I'll take it." And once again, that facting kicks in
Ian
because
Ian
Gandalf
McKellen.
he just closes his eyes. He's like, "I knew you'd do it, but
Yeah.
God damn it,
My boy, my boy.
like, yeah." I mean, it's you really even Orlando Bloom fucking acts his ass off in this movie.
For real, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I
I mean,
forgot that was him.
well, I mean,
It don't look like him.
Well, like for a long time, Orlando Bloom was Legolas to me.
Yeah.
Even like he even
after
shown through.
Pirates.
Yeah, man. Even after that, and I would say even more recently and stuff, like he was. I know the releases are all macheted out with this, but in terms of like how I've taken in the films and stuff, you know, he even like for the longest time I thought he was the guy from Kingdom of Heaven, you know.
Yeah.
Like, cause he kicks ass in that fucking movie too. All of them do, especially Edward Norton. But anyway, I mean, yeah, everyone from every range of like fame that's on this, because it's a stacked cast. But even though it came out when it came out in 2001, you know, some of these actors hadn't even hit their peak yet, their pinnacle. This was
him. This was like his second movie, really. He done like 3 TV shows.
And this is before
he was a nobody.
Well, this is before Dominic Monaghan broke our hearts and lost.
Yeah,
as Charlie. Elijah Wood, I mean, he was always doing, you know, B-level stuff and everything, and you know, I want to say this was a like his big, you know, big return to like the silver screen.
Well, he did
but
the
then,
kid
you know,
movies.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Was it like The Good Son?
Well, then he goes on to do all the other great projects he's been a part of.
Perfect Frodo.
I mean, for crying out loud, this is when we get Sean Bean before he becomes Lord Ned Stark. Like,
dude,
I mean,
a meme was born.
Yes.
When he'd put his fingers together, I was like, oh, when does not simply march into? You know, it was like, oh, dude, that is like such a famous meme.
So here's my question on the extended edition of this that we watched, because I'm not familiar with, and it's been a really long time, obviously.
I don't know what's added in.
Well, part of me was kind of, as I was watching, part of me was like, man, something that this movie does different than a lot of modern films, and by modern I mean, you know, obviously 23 or newer movies. But I feel like the extensions are just those scenes.
The scenes were longer.
Well, yeah, especially like the landscape scenes.
Yeah,
and I feel like that makes it such a better experience because it lets each rounds of dialogue were like really, because that's the thing. There's no downtime in this movie.
No.
Even the downtime, you're still getting more exposition as to what's going. Yeah. And I wonder if some of the extensions is just letting some of the space between those big dialogue heavy moments breathe more.
Yeah.
To cut it down, they just tightened it up.
Yeah. And there's little things like whenever they're leaving, after Frodo's like, you know, I'll take the ring, and they're walking out, and you know, it shows all of them. They first start moving, and Yeah, Frodo walks through the archway and he's like, "Which way?" And Gandalf's like, "That way."
Left.
Like they cut that out, and it's
Yeah.
like, really, like, to me, that right there just cements who
loved
Frodo
it.
is as a character. Yeah, because it's like he took this task upon himself, not really knowing like the full extent of like danger,
Yeah,
because
Well,
he's
he's
never been
yeah.
out of Shire. Like
Well,
he's
he's absolutely taking Gandalf's word for it.
But he's
yes,
willing to take the ring because when he sees them all arguing, it's like, oh, this ain't gonna work.
yeah,
They're not gonna be able to handle this.
mm-hmm,
Yeah, he's like, yeah. Well, it's the classic. It
Heavy
has
as
to
the
be me
crown,
moment.
you know?
Yeah,
yeah,
dude.
dude, it's
And well, like something I was wanting to cap on earlier that I kind of trailed off, because it's easy to just take a tangent on this movie and gush about like just even the most minute things with it. But when Gandalf's talking about why he won't even touch the fucking ring, because he even says it's that small bit of dollar where he's like, even with my intent to do good,
Mm-hmm.
the ring would unleash a power that
It'll
like
corrupt you.
it's yeah, if they always make that point in the movie, which I thought was great, was how they were like, "No, dude, ring wants to be found.
yeah,
Like you ain't hiding. You
Or
have
like
to
when he
just."
fell and it landed on his finger.
Oh
Yeah.
The
yeah,
ring did that.
yeah,
which it's crazy because and of course I'm gonna find a way to include Berserk if I can, but the main MacGuffin of Berserk is this little necklace pendant called the Healet, and it's what allows you to do all the weird stuff in the anime. Well, it operates the very same way that the One Ring of Power does. It goes where it comes to people in their most weakest moment, where like they're gonna be willing to make a deal with the devil.
Yeah.
That's when it shows up. They can have it their whole life and then lose it for 10, 20 years, and then suddenly they're somewhere and it just washes up to them.
yeah.
Like that's the same way that the ring does, and I like because as I was watching it, like I made that kind of connection in my mind. I'm like, oh, okay, I can
Well,
see
like
where Mira probably pulled this from.
all that time that it was with Gollum, it was just staying safe, kind of
Oh, just
away
rock,
from,
yeah,
waiting
just
for the
fucking,
perfect time. Was it 2,000 years?
yeah, 2,500 years actually. I think the way according to the
But
movies.
like even
dialogue.
Bilbo, there's no evil in his heart. But when he's like, "Oh, you got my old ring on," it's like, yeah, you forget why we're here.
Yeah.
But with the way he does his face,
Oh man, that brief
it's
moment.
like, whoa.
Well, I was sitting there like, dude, that's an old trick Jackson used in the Frighteners. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that really quick jump face morph type thing.
Yeah.
I always remember I jumped in the theater when that happened. Like it
Shit,
just
I
kind of
jumped when
came out of
Bilbo did that. I
nowhere.
didn't expect the motherfucker to
Yeah.
roll out the
Well,
fucking sharp teeth on me.
this movie also has a lot of those like for like a really heartwarming moments, like when Bilbo
Dude,
is
Samwise.
yeah, like, oh dude, yeah,
Like,
what that's
Mr.
the ending,
Frodo. It's like, just call
Yeah.
him Frodo.
He's like, I'm gonna drown. I'll drown if I have to. I said I'm not gonna leave you. Like, don't get me wrong. That's of course that's the tear jerk.
Yeah.
But at the same time, though, all throughout the movie, you have different characters where that when they show you all their plots, like Gimli rolls into Moria and realizes the dwarves have been fucking just blown the
And it's
fuck
been a
out.
while ago. I mean, from the way things look.
Legolas is like just, you know what I mean? He's doing his thing.
Yeah.
Fucking, they all have their different plights, but there's always a friend there that's like, no, dude, you ain't doing this alone. You're good.
Yeah.
Like, chin up, let's keep going. The only way out's through. And
Yeah.
like that shit, like, like I said, that stuff always, like, we all know that there's gonna be the one moment that comes in the third movie where if none of you fucking shed it, if the three of us don't shed a tear when it goes down, message was over the head.
Well, dude, I know that Gandalf's coming back, and I was still bummed out when he falls. I'm like,
No.
Well, I mean, dude. Well, y'all
was
know
like,
what I'm talking about.
yeah,
I'm talking about the you bow to no one scene.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I know we'll get to that, but just like there's some like it's easy to take the whole quote power of friendship motif and make it really cheesy, campy, and dumb. But when you fucking harness it right and you've got a damn good writing from damn good source material, it's so impactful. And I mean, dude, this movie does that shit in spades.
Yeah. Absolutely. Even to the bitter end for some characters, even Boromir's like,
Oh man,
I wish you were my king. Like all this stuff. It's just
he
like,
followed
Mhm.
you.
And
yeah, I would have.
everyone
Well, you're dying now. You say that, but
and everyone
15
acts
minutes
so
ago he was having issues. But even Aragorn
and
felt bad for him. He's like, man, he
Yeah.
knows. He's like, the ring got you.
Yeah.
I get it.
it and what's incredible too is all the shots of like the the iconic places in Middle Earth, Isengard, Mordor, all that. Knowing that most, if not all of that, is just straight up model practical
Yeah.
effects
Yeah.
is just mind boggling.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the only real major CGI heavy shots is obviously it's the one where every time it's like, meanwhile in the den of the orcs, and they're
Yeah.
just the camera pans through the fucking shithole that they're living in, which is like, didn't it? When we watched Mad God earlier this year,
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
it
They're
had kind of
digging
had
in the mud and
Yeah.
it gave me those vibes too, man. Like,
Yeah.
it's cool revisiting this with so many other films now under the
well, and
belt.
like really sitting down and watching it.
Yeah.
Knowing
Oh,
you're gonna
yeah.
talk about it,
Watching this in
paying
my 30s
attention, like,
is a far different experience than when I was a kid,
and like you already know the full story, so you can kind of sit there and really take it in. Like when fucking Hugo Weaving's like, the men have failed. Like,
Oh,
we
dude,
can't depend
right?
on them. And I was like, he ain't wrong there. I was
Dude,
like,
Yeah.
when they were tearing down the trees around Saruman's tower, like, I immediately was like, "There's unrest in the forest.
Yeah.
There's something for the trees."
Yeah.
But I mean, all right. So here's a question: if Jackson had released this movie the way we're watching it, the 3.5 hour version,
Mm-hmm.
would it have made the money it made, and would the trajectory have stayed the same?
I think so.
Yes.
Because
I
it's just
feel
so
like
good. It adds more.
I feel like it would have
It
too,
shouldn't have
man.
been cut. The studio had to be pressuring. And it's
Right.
like, dude, it's cut as much as I can, really. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no
Well,
chuffa here.
The thing is the OG theatrical cut is 2 hours and 58 minutes. Once you remove the 30 minutes worth of
For sure.
credits, then they're realistically only adding about 20, 25, maybe 30 minutes to the movie.
Yeah.
And no, dude. If anything, I think it would have enhanced the experience a
Yeah.
little bit more.
It did
Because
for me
it
watching.
would've-
I think this is the first time I've
well,
seen it, the uncut one. Like,
with it being as long as it is, I think that would have added more of the spectacle and the event of like, all right, me and the family are gonna load up and go watch
it's a
the
night.
fucking yeah,
going out to eat, going to watch Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, and not only just Lord of the Rings, but like a fucking legitimate adaptation.
Yeah. But no, I think maybe Two Towers, that's skirting the line, 4.5 hour long. You know what I
Probably
mean?
long
That might
credits,
be-
though,
Well,
again.
Yeah.
what's crazy is that like, but still though, we're looking at two more films that are telling a continuous story that are like when you think about it, the whole idea of Justice League when it came out earlier on HBO Max with its the Snyder cut,
Mhm.
it's just as long as these movies.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So like,
And everyone kind of like, I don't know, like I know that it's been absolutely well documented on the podcast that I've been an advocate for like, hey man, if it don't have to be too long, don't make it too long.
Sure. For certain
But
movies.
Yeah, you nailed it there.
When this
Adam.
went off, I
Movies
was like,
this,
damn, already?
yeah.
I was like, I still got 30 minutes left. And I kept
Well,
skipping ahead, making sure there wasn't nothing in the credits. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute.
So did either of you gentlemen marathon the whole fucking thing, or did you guys block it up?
No, I watched the whole thing in one sitting.
I sat down last
Word.
night, played it through.
I had to block it. I hit the intermission exactly where it was. We got the Elrond going, "You shall be the fellowship," cut to black. I was like, good enough for me. Pause. And then came back, and I felt like it was like these movies are like, I feel like the way they have it, because I assume we're probably going to reach another moment in Two Towers, and as well as Return of the King, where we'll have that moment where it's like, all right, if you want to pause, go live your life a minute, come back, you can. But I'm gonna try to.
My night.
I'm gonna try to
sit through the other. As I got home, I popped it on, and I was gonna try to do stuff while I was watching it. Because I had some stuff.
So
like, I was gonna fold
some.
I couldn't even fucking fold a fucking t-shirt, man. I'd pick it up and just be sitting there watching it, like.
Well, I thought I could honestly sit there with my coffee this morning and, cram a good bit of it and, read some headlines on the phone and everything. And nope, wasn't happening. The minute I started,
you in, dude.
The moment Cate Blanchett's narration kicks in, I was like, mouth breathe. For another ring was made, and I'm like, you tell me more.
In the land of Mordor.
Well, and one thing that I want to hit on before we close it out is like, talking about like the miniatures and all that kind of stuff, but like the set design for the exotic locations, like not only the natural look of everything and how beautiful it was, but just how like over the top, huge, beautiful everything else looked. I mean, every place that they went to had a very unique feel to it, had a very interesting look to it, and like it was perfect. Like the mines looked different than the City of Elves, than the
yes,
there was no copy and paste.
You felt like as an audience member, you were on a journey with these characters, and you didn't feel because, like, with the set design, to add what you're saying, man, it was so consistent to the degree that like there weren't like I don't think anything was reused more than the whatever times it took for them to get out of that place.
Yeah, exactly.
And how they were able to make the hobbits blend in.
Oh,
at certain times you can tell you like, so that's kids. There's little people there. Because there's a lot of that where they shoot them from behind or they shoot the other side.
Yeah. Well, for instance, the Shire sequence between Gandalf and Bilbo.
Yeah.
Oh, when he comes in,
knowing that that's total force perspective is incredible. Not like there's no CGI there.
No.
Yeah.
None.
Camera tricks.
Yeah.
And that was just
shoot down. But whenever when Gandalf takes his hat off and hands it to one of them when they're in the mines, the hat's like almost as big as the fucking Hobbit. It's like, man, it looks so seamless the way it runs together. Like,
yeah, right.
Oh, for real. Especially when, those little moments where I guess it's just because we're trained to try to find those things now. But like once again, calling back to the Shire sequence, when he hands his hat and staff over to Bilbo, like I was waiting for that quick little edit, like I'm 2001, y'all. That you know what I mean? Yeah. But no, dude, it's it's in that class of movie that holds up. It's going to be timeless, obviously. Sure. It's in the same boat, I would say, as the original Jurassic Park. It doesn't matter how many decades pass. The only thing that's going to date is going to be, the fact that it's in the 90s.
Yeah. And just to finish out, like it's amazing how, in this movie there's a lot of ass hauling. We see a lot of different locations. The way that that Peter Jackson and even how it was written and everything was able to tell something on the scale of like visiting different planets and seeing different cultures and different things like that, but knowing that it's like condensed down on one planet and being able to keep the continuity of the environment around them, where the architecture and things is the thing that like really defines that specific area.
Yep.
It's like, it's amazing. It's so well done. And like Lord of the Rings and the way that it was treated and the way that it continues to hold up is the exact same path. And I don't want to get on a too big of a tangent with this, but this is the exact same path that someone needs to treat the Dark Tower stuff.
Yes, 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 yes.
That's all I'm going to say about that. Because like,
well, they got to storyboard the hell out of it. I mean, there had to be a storyboard for every shot.
Yes,
like there had to be a storyboard warehouse.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's like this movie for me absolutely sets the standard for how you make.
That's why we got let down.
Like
later in life, it's like, oh man.
Yeah, because
I saw Lord of the Rings though. You could have done better. I mean,
Jackson went too hard too soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's the standard for how scope should be brought to the screen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sure, there are absolutely other avenues that a filmmaker can take. Christopher Nolan is someone who absolutely can do that too. But when
his
you're
fantasy is just different.
Yeah.
But this
he's more science fiction.
It's just the timelessness that it has. And I think it's a nuance that high fantasy brings to the table.
Yes.
Peter Jackson was a nerd.
Even though it doesn't pale in comparison to Lord of the Rings, you know, there was that same feel, cinematically speaking, to Game of Thrones.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Because I'm not comparing either of them stories because that is pure blasphemy. But
yeah, but the sense of scale and like how the locations differed, but it all felt like it was a seamless cultural flow, if you will.
Yeah, it's all in that filter, man.
Yeah,
there's a certain filter that's layered underneath the creativity of all the different movies that are, you know, doing this type of stuff.
Yeah.
And
what was awesome was at that halfway point, dude, you can see this was shot on film and you can see the boop. And the top right of the screen, there's the thing where it's like, put the next reel on.
Yeah. It's wild, right?
That's why the slow motion looks so.
Yeah,
because it's 24
that's the
frames.
Only thing. Yeah.
Well, I completely forgot that these movies were made on film.
For real.
Yeah.
And what's cool is obviously there is a copy of all three of these movies in the Library of Congress.
Yeah.
We
might show up. See if we can peep them. Let's go to Congress,
dude. No, imagine getting to sit in a theater and getting to watch the master reel.
Like Tarantino's there, and he's like, "These fucking hobbits were fucking."
Yeah. So here's my fucking beef with Peter Jackson. Okay, that's what the shot should be different, right? And it just shows them. It shows them walking across New.
Better, okay.
And it's them walking across New Zealand to looking for a little green bag.
I'd watch that movie though. To be fair,
I mean, I would too. Yeah. I'd buy a ticket to that one.
I'm giving it a golden ring
for sure.
I mean, dude, yes.
Took me golden back, star. Man. There was something about sitting down and watching this. Just whoa! I was right there.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like it's one of those moments where once you get the ball rolling with it, because at first when you see the run times, you're like, man, this is good, but life's a waste.
Yeah, I was like, I had to dedicate a whole night to it. Like,
but once you get that ball rolling with it, though, man, like at least for me, by the time I was at the first hour marker, I'm like, I need to see these movies at this point in my life. Like, I'm kind of glad we're watching them right now, you know?
Yeah, that's why, because, dude, it had been so long, and I was like, look, I mean, I remember watching them when I was a kid. I remember going to the theaters and watching them. I remember watching the extended cuts, but, like, I didn't have the appreciation for cinema that I do now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
And
I can
like
agree.
and people were always like, "Oh, Lord of the Rings is like it is the OG Star Wars level." And I'm like, "Really though? Like Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, I get it now." You know what I mean? Like I fully understand and agree with that argument because for the longest I'm like, yeah, I mean it's good, but like is it Star Wars OG Star Wars good? Yeah, it might be
It
better.
is. I was about to say,
yeah.
really, when we get to the end,
Well,
we'll
I mean-
see. But
Well, I mean, it's just in a way, it's the same style of story. It's just in a different setting. Because a
Yeah.
lot of
Yep.
I've heard
the
people say
chosen
this.
one.
Well, I've heard people say this differently or throughout the years that science fiction is just fantasy for grown-ups.
Yeah.
Because it was in that time when people kind of wrinkled their
Yeah.
nose at stuff like wizards and stuff like this. Like, oh, that's a little kiddie stuff. But it's like, no, man, no, take a look around yourself now. you know?
Well, and now all that's coming back around with like Game of Thrones, like D&D blowing up like it is, nerd culture kind of taking over. It's like, no, man, like, and I think that people
Well-
that didn't appreciate it at the time that it came out, they need to go back and revisit it because I think that they'll find a lot of
Yeah.
appreciation there.
Well, yeah, and to contradict one of my earlier statements, though, like really, like when you take away all the fantasy aspects of it, you have you have Tolkien's writing and the message he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Because at first, for people that don't even enjoy like nerd culture stuff or pop culture things and like that type of avenue, if that's something they don't dabble with, or if it's someone that's coming up in the world and they're still figuring out what they like or don't like and shit like this might come off as boring to them. It's like, no, man, like listen to what they're talking about. Like listen to actually pay fucking attention to the dialogue of this movie.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of properties like that are out there that sure not the best worded movies,
Yeah.
You go for the bang whiz pow,
Mm-hmm.
like don't get me wrong, Tolkien was straight up Vin Diesel in this movie. In this whole story, actually.
Family.
Yeah. But like friendship, family, the power, perseverance, that whole shit.
We can do it.
Yeah. But it's crafted in such a way that you're like, hell yeah, I'm about it,
Well, it's like it is super dangerous, but they're all looking around like, I mean, if we don't do anything, then we're just fucked.
Yeah.
At some point, so.
Well, and also, I guess as the greater metaphor for World War II, it's all the worlds of, all the figureheads of all sentient creation are coming together for a common goal. And it's to vanquish evil. And I mean, how fucking
Good always wins.
How brass tacks can you get, man?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I'm all for it.
Oh yeah. So it gets 3 coveted golden rings.
The
of
highest,
power?
whatever I can give it, it got.
Golden reel.
I'll pack 3 bowls for it if you want to.
Dude, it gets the coveted golden hobbit hole.
A little hobbit hole.
Okay. Hey, that one hobbit that Sam was crushing on, I'm like, I might give it a go.
Yeah.
Like
the hobbit hole, do girl.
Yeah, what the hobbit hole?
Trying to smoke some weed.
Yeah. What you know? Loki though.
Dude, whenever we were watching the trailer, I don't remember who said it, but it happens during the episode. But someone was like, "Oh, he's gonna get the band back together."
Oh yeah,
and they said it in the episode.
Yeah,
it was like, "I'm gonna get the band back together."
Yeah,
and it happened. Like, how good was this shit?
It was great.
This episode like sealed the deal for me right now that Loki is probably the best written MCU character.
Good. And it's hard to follow the one before it. But the way that they went about it, I was just like, oh, it's even better than I could ever imagine.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Here's my question. Okay, I've got a question, and they may explain it later. But like whenever the loom blew up, right?
Mm-hmm.
It sent everybody to. Well, it didn't really. I'm assuming that it killed
Why did
everybody
Loki
there.
survive?
Yeah, exactly. Because
I was wondering that too, man.
And why does Sylvie know what happened?
Well, because they were both at the end of time, maybe. Does that have something to do with all this? Because they were there.
It's gotta, man.
Because that's the only thing. Because as soon as he came back from the end of time was when he was doing the time travel thing inside of the TVA, which is not possible.
Well, yeah, and with the episode ending, though, we get Loki figuring out that he can control the time slipping now.
That was cool.
Yeah.
So, is that why? Like, is it one of those things where now that we know he can time slip to certain events at will now, or at least as long as he's got the band with him, if he does that, does that mean is he going to come in clutch and do this thing where he's hopping and fixing so many points in time, like
we have
quickly?
to think about this too. At this point in this little series, she seems to be the only original Loki because he dies at some point. So,
well, he dies in the. Technically, he dies in the second or first. Whenever he has to prune himself.
Well, I'm talking about before. He knows, like, when he goes back to his original timeline, he's a dead man.
Yeah. Well, that's that.
So, he ain't even supposed to be there.
Yeah,
but she can be there. She went to some timeline that she set up for herself. Like, remembered everything. Like, he's the Loki he's the one that's going to have to go when everything's course corrected.
I was thinking about that too, man, because.
But I'm all right with her being the new Loki.
Well, I think it's going to be a bittersweet ending, but I think it's going to
it's going to be a Doctor Who ending.
Well, I think he'll, like you were saying, Adam. I think we'll get to where the day's saved. We'll, everything's going to be, sorted out, and then we're going to get the all right. Let's reset the pieces, and. He's like, all right, got to do one last thing. And he's got to put himself back in 2012. But
he could change what happens there.
Yeah, but the beauty of it, though, is that it's also going to 100% explain why Loki never wins because Loki chose not to win.
Yeah.
He's keeping the timeline going.
He's like my favorite character.
Yeah. Think about it. If we get it to where, regardless of how the story ends, but we still get Loki resetting himself back in 2012, that means that the Loki we've been seeing throughout all the past films has been 100% aware of what the fuck.
Yeah, that's why it was different at certain times.
That's why maybe
certain times he was nicer than he was before. Like
or like why or like whenever
because he's a changed man.
Well, one of the Loki variants straight up killed Thor, so they have the capacity to pull it off.
Yeah.
And this version of Loki just doesn't. Why?
They might use him to bring them back because they're already floating the idea of a big. Y'all seen this, right? Where they're floating.
Yeah.
Iron Man's coming back, like the whole fucking get the band back together. Now that only makes sense to me if that's to put him somewhere. Like 2012 or whatever, where they would be there.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's it.
So there's a couple of things. I still think that there's one thing, like, did Loki time slip whenever the loom exploded? And that's what stopped him from whatever. And if so, does Sylvie have the ability to do the same thing? Because
she's not there either and she remembers.
Right. So did she time slip? Did he time slip? That's one of my questions there. Second of all,
sorry.
Oh, no. Go ahead.
I was just going to add to the Sylvie question because I think usually what's been happening in the past few episodes is that we'll see her stonewall. Yeah, she'll dip out, stonewall Loki for a minute, only for us to find out that the minute the Loki we're following fucks off, the time slipping Loki shows up behind, is like, yo, update, like,
Yeah.
and that always causes her to be like, fuck, okay, I'll go help.
Yeah. So and she could be experiencing the same thing without us knowing about it. You know what I'm saying? Like she could be experiencing the same thing and it could be working different. There could be something going on there, but I still feel like she's going to be at the head of the TVA because I mean, he did say that he would be back and that he allowed everything to happen the way that it needed to happen. So, long story short, Loki as a whole, maybe everything went through the channels that it had to go through so that she would be the right person to be the one running the TVA while he is being crazy.
Well, and it took Loki.
Yes.
It took this Loki to get her to.
Yeah, to get her to understand.
Sylvie, come on,
Yeah. Now, my last thing is, and this might be a little bit far fetched, but whatever. My last thing here is the Loom is taking all these timelines and weaving them together into a sacred timeline, right? Like that's what the Loom does, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so question is, or are they potentially setting up now Kang as this? Are we getting another Thanos situation with Kang? Because think about it. What we know about Kang is he rises to power in his timeline, destroys timeline, moves from universe to universe, destroying universes. Since the Loom isn't weaving the sacred timeline together, it's just ever expanding and it's causing all of the timelines to implode on one another. Are they setting up Kang to be kind of like an anti-hero where the only way that he knows how to fix it is to destroy him himself until he builds the TVA out? And if so, is that a good thing? Like, is that version of that character a good thing?
Well, I think that theory holds to me because I still think, despite all the recent stuff we've learned through the show, I still think that the whole He Who Remains Loki Sylvie scene at the end of season 1, I think that seeds for the ending of the show were planted there, where He Who Remains goes, no matter what you do, you can kill me, or you can go back and do, live in a good timeline or something. Either way, I always end up back here.
Well, he said, "See you soon." He wasn't talking about some other version.
He's talking about timely.
him. He's like,
yeah,
I'll see you. I'll be back here.
Yeah. So
now it would be a good way to segue it, but something that I did see that was one of those things where it's like, damn it, they make a point. But I saw a Twitter post where they've shown us, because I know we'll get into it, we'll elaborate more on it on movie news, but how they're wanting to pivot out of Kang being the big bad.
Mm-hmm.
So far in Loki, or so far in the MCU, they have effectively killed off the three main primary Kang variants. They've killed off He Who Remains. They've killed off Kang the Conqueror and Ant-Man. And as far as we know right now, Victor Timely is still dead.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know what that was. He turned into Spaghetti Man. I mean,
and I was thinking Victor Timely might be He Who Remains. Like that's
the original.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I
maybe
figured,
that's why she was mad and was like, "You'll never be him."
It's like, what's crazy is what if all three of them are that same, from the same timeline, just from different points in time?
He told the story. He said there was a me from this time, and it showed. Remember when he was breaking that down in the other season?
Mm-hmm.
He broke that down. That was him. He's like, there was me, and then these people came. But I guess the reason he's used them all this time, they've been doing his bidding, bringing the book back. Yeah.
Well, he put these
he eventually gets there, but it takes a long time, and this kind of speeds things up.
Yeah, yeah. But
do we know if Kang Dynasty is still on the table.
Probably depends.
Because it seems like because I don't know about on y'all's end, but I know some as far as Marvel's concerned, the movie news I've seen has been more Secret Wars heavy, and to my knowledge, that's the latter film that's coming out. Like Kang's supposed to be the movie that the next big Avengers event.
Yeah.
Well,
and
strikes
I mean,
pushed everything back.
Yeah,
that's very.
We'll definitely get into the King stuff with the focus on possibly moving to Doctor Doom, but that was my. I don't like. I want Marvel to have, and I know that we've talked about this a ton, like a ton, but I would like for Marvel to just have a bad guy that's just bad. And
Well, I mean, and they've already
right.
shown that they can pull it off with the High Evolutionary. They've already shown us that they can do that because that's exactly the kind of villain he is. It's just he's pure fucking evil.
yes, exactly.
And I agree with you. I think we're past due a good old fashioned.
Everybody that's been watching has grown up enough to,
Yeah.
Well, like
stuff can get a little darker.
Yeah, and I think, yeah. Dude, like Loki's dark as shit.
Yeah.
What's in the box? Like 30 people.
Yeah, maybe 50. Right.
Yeah.
But I think that I feel like the whole justifiable evil shit, the morally gray, like you can, or no, the relatable villain,
Yeah.
I don't think that can. You can only serve me that sandwich so many times before it's like, dude, where's the soup?
Yeah. Where's the sauce?
Well, they did it with Thanos, and they had a great justification for Thanos because think about it. If he destroyed like half of if he destroys half of all non-existence in this timeline, in this universe, then that's going to drastically cut down itself on the amount of like tangent universes that pop out, the variant universes that pop out. So it all feeds into itself, But like and I'm not saying that Kang shouldn't be a complex character because I think the way that they're doing Kang is great, but like we kind of got that version of Kang and Ant-Man. I want balls out like Omega threat level Kang to show up in the Kang.
Yeah.
Well, like at the very end when you see all the variants.
Yeah,
and
just
one
kill
of those in there is going to
everybody.
be really mean.
Yeah, and kill everybody.
Not trying to make a deal. Like
yeah, and it needs to be one of those things where if they pull it off enough with Jonathan Majors' acting, because he is a good he's damn good, despite his personal things. Like if I can ignore Ezra Miller's bullshit to be able to watch The Flash, I can ignore Jonathan Majors.
Yeah.
That being said, like to get the kind of Kang that you're talking about, Griff, or at least from my point of view, you play him Spielberg, man. You go full Spielberg, less is more. Like have it to where he shows up, the Avengers are like, all right, we've been waiting on you, have it where they've gotten a heads up or something. Or just do a stone cold intro where he just, glass shatters and he walks through a TVA portal. And like you said, he knows so much information that every fucking thing the Avengers throw
at him,
everything. They can't land a scratch on him. Full DBZ villain reveal. And
if
then
they wanted to bring back the original for that, like Loki gets there, then Kang shows up. That's another way to kill them all. I mean,
and just blows them the fuck out.
I don't think people will be mad at that. It's like, yeah, you brought them back for the reunion because it has been a long time, but that's a good way to fucking kill them off again.
Exactly. So, but yeah, Loki's been great, and we've got one episode left?
One more. It drops tomorrow.
Bro, yeah, I can't wait to peep it, man. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, dude. Scat Cat better lay it on us quick.
Yeah, right. But we do have a little bit of movie news here, and we'll of course get to the Marvel stuff here in just a second. But I wanted to throw this in there because this is near and dear to my heart, and I think it's going to be near and dear to y'all's heart. It has been confirmed Danny DeVito and Billy Crystal are working on a follow-up to Throw Mama from the Train. So in 1987, Danny DeVito and Billy Crystal tried to throw Mama from the train. Whether they succeeded or not, well, there won't be any spoilers unveiled here. The film teamed two of Hollywood's best and brightest comedic actors together in DeVito and Crystal, and these lifelong friends have plans to return to the big screen in a sequel still. DeVito made the announcement during an interview with GQ. Billy and I want to work together again. We were looking at possibly doing Throw Papa from the Train. After DeVito revealed the news to to GQ, a representative from Crystal confirmed it to Entertainment Weekly. It's true. They're still working on it. DeVito says the possible follow-up will be titled Throw Papa from the Train. And despite the ending of the first film, which again we won't be revealed here, as not to ruin it for those who haven't seen the classic comedy, actress Anne Ramsey sadly passed away the year after Throw Mama from the Train debuted in theaters. Ramsey plays Mama, lived perfectly in the movie, and she enjoyed her time making the film with DeVito and Crystal. Ramsey said in a 1987 interview, "I love the film so much." Incredible movie.
Love it.
Yes.
Childhood staple.
Yeah, so I would really love to see these two get back together and
especially where they're at now with their acting.
Right.
That was
1987.
Dude, I mean, that was 36 years ago.
Exactly.
That's how I know that, but I do know. To nail it down.
Yeah.
But
pinpoint the exact date. Yeah.
But like where they're at now, like we've seen Danny DeVito, like he's done great movies, directed movies, and then go on to
Always
do
Sunny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
right.
To see the kind of raunchy comedy he's got, like
yeah, right.
And Billy Crystal.
Yeah.
I mean, Slickers, dude. Not to mention all the other movies.
Yeah.
I podlocked on it if it happens. I mean,
yeah, I hope it comes to fruition because, dude, it would be great to see those two, their chemistry in that movie. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so good, you know. So I'm super down to watch that any day of the week.
They're about the same height.
Yeah, give or take.
Yeah,
give or take. Next up here, a live-action Legend of Zelda movie officially in the works. It's happening finally. Legend of Zelda fans can celebrate now that Nintendo confirms a live-action movie adaptation of the popular video game is in the works at Sony Pictures Entertainment, which is wild. Sony is going to make a movie about a Nintendo property. Video game adaptations are going through their best moment in film and television after titles like Sonic, Detective Pikachu, Arcane, the Super Mario Brothers movie, and The Last of Us proved that it was possible to bring a game to the screen successfully. It will be now up to the brave Link to live out his adventures in cinema. Nintendo's website broke the news on Tuesday that the gaming giant will team up with Sony Pictures Entertainment to develop a live-action Legend of Zelda movie with Wes Ball as director, whose recent titles include Maze Runner Saga, an upcoming reboot of Planet of the Apes titled Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. The film will be produced by Nintendo and Arid Productions, with Sony handling distribution. Rumors surrounding a movie adaptation of Zelda have been circulating since the incredible success of the Super Mario Brothers movie, with Nintendo considering bringing many of its other great games to film and television. But the Legend of Zelda fans have been asking for a film focused on Link for years, so this particular project is generating a lot of anticipation, which can be very good, but also very damaging if the movie does not meet expectations. It's not going to meet expectations.
No, but we have the Mario to thank for this.
Well, yes. I think
Mario wasn't bad.
No, not at all.
Well, so first off, what a time to be alive.
For sure.
Yeah.
Secondly, I feel like the smartest move that they will do is tell a Nintendo Shigeru Miyamoto approved story that they have crafted.
For sure.
And Sony handle the making, just making it into a movie.
Yeah.
Because they got stories.
because the thing is that once you split, once you get to a point when the timeline splits, because that's the thing. To any given Zelda fan, their expectations are all going to be different. Like for me, I want an Ocarina of Time film.
Yeah.
Other folks, there's a lot of people out there, they'd be 100% down with a Wind Waker
Well,
film.
they're going to blend it.
Yeah, and I
Was
feel
it
like
Majora's Mask?
yeah,
They're going to blend them all to get us too.
Well, that's going to be what I think is going to be our member berries moment in the film, and it's going to be the pivotal film part in the movie where Link realizes who he is, and maybe have a moment where it's like you've done this so many times, Link, you have no idea how many
moment.
You've saved us countless times, and it's he gets to peer into his different lives, and we see where all those other stories are canon and true, but they still have the freedom to craft a Legend of Zelda movie without having to hit the standard that is going to be so all over the spectrum for video game for the fans
like
of
Mario
the games.
did, how it kind of covered
exactly
a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Even side-scrolling.
Here's what I don't want them to do with the Legend of Zelda movie. I don't want them to go full meta with it. I want them to focus on whatever specific type of story that they're wanting to play out and not be like, I don't want them to go full Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness with it.
Oh, no universe hopping.
Well, not even that. Like, because the Zelda timeline is like 18 different timelines that's been cobbled together and all this other shit. Like, I don't want them to go full meta with it. I just want a good fantasy Lord of the Rings. You know what I mean? Like, take inspiration from that.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm hoping that it's you can get deep with Legend of Zelda, or you can keep it simple, which is the beauty of those. Yeah, exactly. And we're gonna get Link, Zelda, Ganon, shenanigans, and like as far as my nitpicky expectations, I just want to have that moment where Link gets the Master Sword, and
the whole
shit just goes fucking bonkers.
Yeah,
I'm surprised they're going live action.
Me too.
I figured because the Mario movie did so well that
well,
you could animate it, but they're trying to go blockbuster. They want to go.
Oh, and it has the potential.
Oh yeah.
And
we just sat through an almost 4-hour cut of something that it could have.
And I think with it being live action, I think that officially.
Well, then you have to pick a link.
Out. Well, I think that officially it eliminates the prospect of Smash Brothers, because you know how they said they were thinking about doing a shared Nintendo universe.
Yeah.
I feel like keeping these properties separated would actually be the best thing. Obviously,
But it is
yeah.
They don't have to overlap, They don't need. There doesn't need to be any kind of thing like that.
No, and here's if I was Nintendo, with them announcing the news of Legend of Zelda, the next move that I would make if I was Nintendo, I would contact Neil Blomkamp and I'd say, "Hey, do you want to make a Metroid movie for us?"
Oh shit!
Hey, Griffin, I'm there with you, brother. I'm there with you. But let's get in that. Don't try to get in that canoe yet, man.
I mean, think about
it's gonna start happening.
Yeah,
they got that Mario money, dude. They've real Mario money this time, not like the last time.
So I mean, but here's the thing though, like Smash Brothers, if they realistically wanted to be able to cross these over, which I think is something that like they're going to have a certain number of successful attempts at movies to make that happen. But if they do, there's definitely more than enough ways to make that happen, because they could pull everybody into CGI, or they could pull everybody into the real world, or they could do a mixture of the two to make that work. But I think that, like you said, focusing on these outing films, focusing on specific characters and not trying to Justice League it together in the first outing would be the best move they could make.
Yeah, just tell us some really good stories with classic Nintendo characters. And if we can get 1-to-1 adaptations, awesome. If we have to go a more, because Zelda's multiple timelines, that's actually an advantage that the writers can use to do something where they don't have to adapt a particular game.
And they got plenty of source material. They can add in, get some good writers. Dude,
absolutely.
Mario made $1.3 billion.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. So, Zelda will make just as much,
for sure, if not more.
Yeah.
And there's a possibility for like a trilogy or.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's just because. Yeah, I don't know if I'm riding the high off of Lord of the Rings.
I am. I fucking.
But what I'm saying is that like,
just
if they do it right, this movie could capitalize on a thing.
A box office breaker.
Oh, dude, it could win Academy Awards.
87 here, 86 overseas. So it's past time, but I'm kind of glad they've waited. It's like wait till the moment's right, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't. Whenever that Mario movie came out back in the day, they were like,
yeah.
I'm sure they did some others. Like, we'll wait.
Yeah. But I'm excited. I mean, at the end of the day, it says here that it's one of Nintendo's Legend of Zelda is one of Nintendo's most successful titles with over 30 games released, and its expansive world building makes it perfect for a film franchise. So if they can pull and do little nods just like Mario did, but give us a cool, interesting story to build off of, you can't go wrong with it. You just have to make it look great and cast a silent, like make Link silent if you have to. Like I don't care.
Well, he should only be like, "Wah,
yeah, yeah."
Listen,
I mean, just a moment on screen where they're explaining. They're just
how to use your slingshot. Nah.
Or Deku nuts come from Deku trees.
Go to the top.
No, but like, well, for instance, like with Breath of the Wild, there's a part in the game where you have to, it's the Master Sword part, where you get it and everything, but they don't refer to it necessarily as that. They call it the sword that fights the darkness or eats the darkness. It's a really cool fucking name for it,
Yeah.
Just like, I mean, you can go epic as fuck without having to be like super serious. Yeah. And that's the thing. Keep it epic. Make it like give it that Lord of the Rings scope where Link's gonna be on the back of Epona fucking hauling ass across Hyrule Field. Give us those moments where he's got to scale,
where he's learning Ocarina.
Yeah, or I mean, because that's the thing. The beauty of it is that we'll be able to get the Ocarina of Time scratch no matter what.
Yeah,
because every Zelda game goes by those staples where it's like he's got to go talk to all the different people, all the different races.
Yeah, the quest.
So we'll see the Gerudos, we'll see the Zoras, we'll see all those characters, and how they're going to pull those guys off is going to be interesting.
In a live action.
Because, dude, there's just something that's just like, I mean, just thinking as I'm talking. What if they could find a way to get the Jim Henson Company to do animatronics for like almost kind of,
dude, is just out of this world.
Well, hear me out.
Lord of the Rings Netflix show they did?
Lord of the Rings in scope and Dark Crystal and like the tight close-up shot. The close-up shots.
When I think Link, that's what I think. Like that Dark Crystal, that look, the pointy ears.
For sure.
But yeah, we've got a Legend of. So I'm going to say it's 5 to 7 years.
It's going to be a while.
Yeah, which is fine. Let them take as much time as they need.
We'll hang in there for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, let them cook.
Let it cook, man.
For sure. So talking about Marvel here, Marvel reconsiders focus on Jonathan Majors Kang, discusses backup plans which could include pivoting to Doctor Doom. So, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe's Kang Dynasty already coming to an end, there's no question that the MCU is facing a crisis where, in particular, its tentpole 2026 film Avengers The Kang Dynasty is concerned. The fifth Avengers installment would have the MCU's overarching villain, Kang the Conqueror, facing off against a new iteration of the superhero team. But Major's highly publicized legal issues have left the studio wondering if Kang is the future at all. According to Variety, Marvel has already considered dumping the Conqueror and going with Doctor Doom as the big baddie. An unnamed source who has watched the season 2 finale of Loki said, Marvel is truly fucked. Marvel is truly fucked with the whole Kang angle, and they haven't had an opportunity to rewrite until very recently because of the WGA strike. But I don't see a path to how they can move forward without him. In addition to Kang making his debut in February's Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, the MCU villain is the key cog in the current and upcoming phases, which up to the highly anticipated Avengers: The Kang Dynasty and Avengers: Secret Wars. With as much time and money Marvel has invested in majors as Kang, particularly in Quantumania and the Disney Plus series Loki, would the studio really consider anointing Doctor Doom as the new threat for the Avengers? So majors began 2023 on the highest of possible notes. The actor portrayed the integral role of Kang the Conqueror in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, while also starring alongside Michael B. Jordan in Creed 3. But today, the actor's off-the-screen legal drama has seemingly led to discussions which include making Doctor Doom the big baddie for the Avengers. But Majors isn't the only issue the MCU is facing. Joanna Robinson was one of the authors who penned MCU: The Reign of Marvel Studios, and she had this to say about the other problems the MCU must overcome in addition to Major's controversy. I'm not prepared to call it a permanent fall, but based on the numbers that go with Marvel podcasts, Marvel-based articles, friends who do Marvel-based video coverage, all of these numbers are significantly down. The quality is suffering. 2019 at the peak, if you put Marvel Studios in front of something, people were like, "Oh, that brand means quality." That association is no longer the case because there have been so many projects that felt half-baked and undercooked. While there have certainly been some success stories since the conclusion of Avengers Endgame, particularly with Spider Man No Way Home, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, it's clear that the Avengers themselves are part of the problem. One reason the films leading up to and including Endgame were so successful is because of the core four characters of Tony Stark, Steve Rogers, Bruce Banner, and Thor. Stark, aka Iron Man, made the ultimate sacrifice at the conclusion. We all know about that. Extend those four characters to include all six heroes who went toe to toe with Loki in the Avengers, and now the fans are mourning another fan favorite, Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow. So while some of the newer characters might be compelling, the truth is that they can't seem to hold up to the Marvel Cinematic Universe the same way as the first Avengers team did. Reassembling the original Avengers may be the only answer to saving the MCU, whether they face off against Kang the Conqueror or Doctor Doom. So there's another article, and I didn't track it down and drop it in here, but there's another article that has rumors that state the Fantastic Four movie will not be set in the main Marvel timeline with like everybody else.
Yes, it'll be its own standalone.
It'll be in its own separate universe, and I'm assuming that
later.
Yeah, Reed Richards and those guys will figure out some. Yeah. But here's what I will say about it. First of all, there's two different things here that we can talk about, and then I'm sure the next article kind of feeds into it just a little bit. But with everything that's going on with Jonathan Majors and with the strikes, the actor strike is still going on, I believe.
Yeah.
Why don't we wait until all this? Yeah, wait until all this shakes out and then make your decision.
Let this man have his day in court, dude. Remember the video of him stopping the fight?
Exactly.
I mean, dude, this guy doesn't have a track record. He's only 34.
Yeah.
But I don't think he would have done anything like this to put his, it seems like something happened to somebody to get their way.
Yeah.
And they're trying to play him, and don't ever play yourself.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and at the end of the day, like, Kang comes from multiple different universes, and yes, they should they have showed all the Kangs getting together at the end of Ant-Man Quantumania? Probably not.
Well, they doubled down on they all look the same. It's all the same guy,
yeah, but it's not out of the realm of impossibility that they could recast Kang and still continue with the Kang story. That's a thing, right? Because we've seen different,
like I'm old Kang.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen different versions of Loki. We've seen different versions of other characters. So it's not far-fetched to say that another version of Kang is going to be the version that the Avengers have to deal with.
Well, they just need to float.
Yeah.
Like, let some other stuff come out. Let's float this.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, she wants money. Pay her the fuck off. That's what she wants.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, and then on the second half of this, and this is a little bit more, it's like what this person says here, Joanna Robinson is not wrong. The quality is suffering. In 2019, at the peak, if you put Marvel Studios in front of something, people were like, "Oh, that brand means quality." That association is no longer the case because there have been so many projects that felt half baked and undercooked.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, there's two things that kind of like lead to this. First of all, there's a little bit of fatigue happening with Marvel, right? Of course. But to a greater extent, the writing for a lot of these properties that have came out has not been up to snuff compared to the writing of what came before. And
or
the
like
reason
Loki,
exactly,
it's like the movies are like Miss Marvel when it drops, or the Marvels, whatever you want to call it. We'll see.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing, like we're already building up to the Kang Dynasty, Secret Wars, and all this stuff. Before we got our first Avengers flick in 2012. Before that Avengers film came out, we already got a Hulk movie, even though it's not the same Hulk. We got a Captain America movie. We got an Iron Man, or maybe 2 Iron Man movies. Loki, or not Loki. Well, Loki was introduced in Thor. Hawkeye was introduced in Thor. Black Widow was introduced in Iron Man 2. Like, you already had all these characters that have been introduced and they've been built up. And because there wasn't a cinematic, like a large cinematic universe at that time, we rewatched Iron Man. We rewatched Captain America. We rewatched Thor. Now you're getting so much content so often that we don't rewatch Marvel properties.
Especially the shows.
Exactly. So that's one of the biggest problems with it. You've got shoddy writing, you've got shoddy stories being told, messages that don't need to be delivered. If you want to look at a movie that delivers an amazing message and it was executed well, look at Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Yeah.
We don't need to turn everything into this socio-economical bullshit. They're comic book movies.
Well, why can't we even in Ant-Man, that last Ant-Man movie, it was all right, but it wasn't what it could have been.
It was too much. They didn't give it enough time to cook.
They didn't let it breathe. They just put everything, like all these people had ideas, and they were, you got 15 writers, so it's like, huh? What? You got this? You got that?
Yeah.
Oh, you Chat GPT said what?
Yeah, right. So
put that in there.
Yeah. So, and I think that like with the writer strike and everything else that's going on, peeling back on some of these Marvel properties and bringing people in that like legitimately want to write and like do stuff is not a bad thing. Like
the dude that writes Loki.
Yeah, bring people. Yeah.
Well, for instance, quit. I mean, I don't. Maybe I'm completely wrong here, but stop. They need to stop just being like, all right, we need X hero film made. So
now,
hey, you
write us a script.
Like, let it, like, consider the people.
Well, the way they used to do it.
Yeah, let a pitch come
30 years for a movie to come along. That's like, that's it. That's the one.
Yeah.
And
now they're like, sounds good.
And I mean, the idea of the shared universe, even though I will continue to probably hang on for the ride and watch these films, I think kind of in the same
it's a
idea
bit of a cop-out.
I'm going to look at it in the same way that I look at Star Wars. To me, Star Wars is episodes 1 through 6.
Yep.
Plain and simple. Like all the other stuff, that's just extra.
Well, icing on the cake, dude.
Yeah, it's just the powdered sugar on a damn good dessert, you know?
Yeah.
And
cake.
Yeah, and with the MCU, the Infinity Saga is, to me, that's the Marvel, that's a shared universe. That was so hard to pull off cinematically over the course of 10 years, 20 plus films. The stars aligned to pull that off.
Yeah.
And this decade and in this era, trying to do the Kang thing, it's showing that, you know, there was a little bit of luck in that whole run of films.
Yep.
Well, good writing, good actors.
Yeah.
And you got to get back to that again. Like, that took less money so the movie could get made. But they was like, hey, if it does well, I'll take my money on the back end.
Yeah,
but I won't get paid.
Because think about it. We've been dealing with a multiverse saga for a really long time now.
Mm-hmm.
And with obviously no sign of it coming to a close.
And the reason why is when I said like, it's kind of like you phone it in, it's a cop out, but that's where all comic books go. Well, it eventually goes to that. After you read all the issues, then you're gonna have the crossovers. The X-Men fucking show up, and this happens. I mean, I want all that, but goddamn, write it better. Like, take your time on it. You can't just pop this out. We're on the next 10-year stretch, and they can't just bang out a movie every year. Remember when Disney bought Star Wars? They were like, we're going to drop a movie every year. Whew, what happened there?
Yeah.
They started dropping them and not spending the time. But I think this writer strike rework, that's going to change shit.
Well, I think
you ain't getting the job if you ain't writing good scripts.
Yeah. And I think, because we've talked about it a lot with that strike coverage, you know, I mean, and we're seeing it play out, man. Hopefully,
and it's still going.
Hopefully, with what we're seeing the beginning of quality over quantity.
It's coming back. There's going to be 2 or 3 writers tops on something.
And not
which
just
is what it should
be. I think that's over television. You don't need 12 people as a whole.
Write a fucking show.
Yeah, for sure. Because you know, it's not, even though Marvel's the topic at hand, the resolutions that we're talking about can be applied to all the other stuff, like all the other franchises, all the other mediums.
We're at a reset. Streaming came along, the demand for content happened, and now the industry's like, well, we did that, but it like some of the stuff's not as good as it should have been. Like, spent a lot of money making it.
Well, it's because to me, the one property that fell so flat for me, or content that fell for me, was Secret Invasion, man.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the She-Hulk show, they've done a couple where it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Why did you even make this?
Sure.
We don't need a whole season for her to show up somewhere.
Despite the CG thickness, She-Hulk was flat as hell.
It was all right. I mean, I wasn't like, it was the worst thing I've ever seen, but I was just like, really?
Well, I mean,
this was the show?
Well, what was weird is that, like, okay, so She-Hulk, we get this slog of a show up until this crazy meta finale that kind of redeemed it.
Hell, it went straight South Park.
Yeah.
Right there, then, right? Like, just.
Yeah. But that being said, though, that finale saved She-Hulk a little bit.
Yeah, it did. You're right. And then, but Secret Wars didn't have a finale that saved it. It's like, why are we it did. But I think it's leading into the Marvels. Like,
well, it did the mirror opposite, though. You know what I mean? Like instead,
we'll find out something later. We'll we got, that wasn't a real Nick Fury or something. Like, okay.
Well, I mean, like, you know, with She-Hulk, we had a boring series, but a good finale. Secret Invasion, we got a great series, but a shitty finale.
And she got banged by Daredevil.
Mm-hmm. Which I don't know if it's on here or in the next article.
With a little blind dick, you know.
I feel like it's an honorable mention. word on the street is that Daredevil has gotten a new showrunner, and said showrunner was the showrunner for The Punisher on Netflix.
Okay.
So I don't know what that.
Well, they're trying to keep it. I mean, you saw what little bit of Daredevil that gave us. We've actually got the trailer for Echo coming up.
Because despite how the larger audience received Punisher, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, right.
For
sure. So I'm interested to see that
he might be showing back
showrunner.
up. I mean, he's out there and he's willing to play that character. I think we read an article one time. Anytime they've asked him what he'd like to do, he's like, "Well, I've already done it, and it's the Punisher."
Yeah. Well, I think they
have
have
him again.
They have confirmed Bernthal is going to be coming back as Punisher. Yeah. So
well, considering the controversies around the Punisher right now and how Marvel tried to distance from him and the logo and all that shit, I think the most fuck you, suck our dick, we're telling a story move they could do is bring Frank fucking Castle back and let that fucking skull shirt fucking fly, bro.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
let's free flag
fly. Because that's the thing, dude. He is Marvel's quintessential anti-hero.
Well, they fucked up. If Marvel had the balls to do it, they would have wrote a fucking one-off of Punisher tracking down people that fucking use that Punisher symbol negatively and killed them in the comic book. And then
that sounds amazing.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like they're running like you know how people use like put a jacket on for a biker club, and they're like, "Hey, get that off."
Well, I mean, dude. I mean, basically take the sequence in The Dark Knight where Batman's got those goons tied up, and he's like, "There's no difference." He's like, "There's no difference between you and me." And he's like, "Yes, there is." He's like, "I'm not wearing hockey pants. Like, you're a fucking you're a cheap knockoff. You know, like you're not me.
Quit fucking pretending to be Batman, Phoenix
Jones." Yeah. But next up here, Marvel Studios is reportedly in in chaos as conflicts and controversies continue. So Marvel Studios is not going through its best moment. Avengers Endgame, the highest point the MCU reached with the construction of its universe and the culmination of the Infinity Saga, not only marked a new beginning for the franchise, but also the starting point of the fall and the fortunes of the superhero saga. When Iron Man was released in 2008, no one imagined that more than 15 years later, Marvel Studios and its characters would be dominating the world of cinema, television, and streaming. But when in 2019 the theaters burst into screams upon hearing Avengers Assemble of Chris Evans' Captain America, no one expected this to be the beginning of a crisis for the MCU. New article published by Variety details some of the main problems that the company has been facing in the last couple of years, especially since the arrival of the MCU on Disney Plus with original content created for streaming. Wall Street analyst Eric Handler, who covers Disney, commented, "The Marvel machine was pumping out a lot of content. Did it get to the point where it was just too much and they were burning people out on superheroes? It's possible. The more you do, the tougher it is to maintain quality. They tried experimenting with breaking in some new characters like Shang-Chi and Eternals with mixed results. With budgets as big as these, you need home runs." In 2021 alone, Marvel Studios released a total of 4 films and 5 television series, which not only demonstrate the need they felt to release content permanently, it is also clear evidence of the demands with which the teams behind each production worked, something that led the company to face another of its great problems. The army of VFX artists at Marvel Studios have been showing their discontent for some time, especially after the premiere of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, which was highly criticized for its visual effects. In fact, the company's VFX workers have decided to unionize to improve their working conditions. Former Marvel Studios VFX assistant coordinator Anna George said, "The year 2023 was the straw that broke the camel's back. The pay and long hours at Marvel were the reason we had to start our unionization process there. The conditions were completely unsustainable." But the actors could be the key to success or failure. Last year, when Quentin Tarantino said the MCU actors were not movie stars, since the real stars were the characters they played, a big part of the industry agreed. Chris Evans himself agreed with the director sometime later, but although Tarantino had a point, it is not quite that simple. According to Variety Report, Marvel Studios is considering bringing back the original Avengers for a new film, including Scarlett Johansson and Robert Downey Jr., whose characters died during the Infinity Saga. Trying to replicate the success they had with that cast is something that could certainly gain a lot of attention, but could spectacularly backfire if it was to be seen as a way of papering over the cracks of current saga. Although it is true that the superheroes taken from the pages of comic books and their stories that made the MCU what it is today, the actors are important. Marvel Studios bringing back Charlie Cox as Daredevil or Hugh Jackman as Wolverine is proof of that. Knowing how important it is to choose a good actor, the company hired Mahershala Ali to star in the Blade reboot. However, the two-time Oscar winner has been the main reason for the multiple changes that the project has gone through. He is not the only star to have brought the studio problems it really would have rather avoided. Jonathan Majors is currently causing ripples through Marvel Studios due to his current legal situation, and the outcome of his upcoming court case could force the MCU to change the main focus of its upcoming projects, moving away from Kang the Conqueror if necessary. While these and other issues are dealt with internally, the show must go on for the public. The Marvels hits theaters next week, and things are not looking good for the film directed by Nia DaCosta either. As the article also states, beyond the bad press for Majors, the brain trust at Marvel is also grappling with the November release of The Marvels, a sequel to 2019's blockbuster Captain Marvel that has been plagued with lengthy reshoots and now appears likely to underwhelm at the box office. Although it seems likely that movies such as Deadpool 3, The Kang Dynasty, and Secret Wars will bring out Marvel fans in their thousands, getting there is going to be a long, hard slog for the studio that once seemed inevitable. I mean, not wrong, but it goes back into what we were just talking about. Too much content, too poorly written. They need to take a step back and they need to really focus on like what is going to tell a good story.
They
and
gotta
if that
polish it.
Yeah, and if that
Like,
means getting away from like an overarching story, like that's why Loki's been so good
yeah,
because of
so
because
good.
of the nature of that show, there's a lot of freedom that the writers have, but at the end of the day, it's about Mobius, it's about Loki, it's about that core little group of people that are there and them dealing with the TVA stuff and the timeline and not even like the bad guy is time
Yeah,
for them. And you can really see that and you really feel that. And yeah, you have people pop up here and there. You have Loki World in that one episode. You've got Kang showing up, Victor Timely and all this kind of stuff, which is all cool and everything. But like it's focusing on what makes that show great instead of trying to like be an asspull like Secret Invasion where it's like, oh, we're going to give every character Captain
yeah.
Marvel powers because like, no, dude, let's be realistic here.
Well, I like how Mahershala Ali's like, you ain't fucking my chance up.
Well,
He's
dude,
pushing back and be like, no, that's not it.
I don't know if we talked about it last week or not, but like Mahershala Ali came out and said that like one of the early drafts of the script had him as like the fourth lead in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like not it's a Blade movie with Blade being the fourth lead of the movie. Like what are you doing?
Yeah. Why is it? I
What
mean,
move?
what we
Yeah, what
call it,
movie?
Black Knight. What was his name? Because that's probably
Yeah,
we got the crossover characters. We saw him show
yeah.
up in their shit later.
And
Eternals type
Eternals.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Maybe Wherever by Night. I don't know.
yeah.
Makes
Right.
sense. Checks out
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm paying $10 to see a movie
for a
called
Blade movie,
Blade, I
especially with
better
this
see
guy in it,
Blade. I better see
Yeah.
the Daywalker fucking vampires up.
because
Yeah.
those people are out there that saw him in True Detective, that saw him
Yep.
in the Green Book, and was like, "This dude's amazing." I think
Yeah.
he had some other things.
Yeah, for sure. He was in
Well, I mean, and there's a
Moonlight.
lot
That's
of
it.
and there's
Moonlight. Yeah, that was huge.
well, and there's a lot of folks like us that saw the original Wesley Snipes Blade,
Sure,
and that movie was fucking great, and
it
it still
was, but
is.
then
But
other
that
versions of it came out, and it started to,
well,
because they're
yeah,
like, "What can we squeeze out of this turnip?"
but in terms of just that first film, though,
Yeah,
it
was big.
shows us that a badass Blade movie can be made. and you take that and you pump it full of Marvel Studios budget steroids. And dude, I mean,
now that they have that writer strike, it's like, well, what are you doing if you ain't working on scripts every day? Everyone should be trying to make this movie the best it can be because you have the time.
Yep.
You can do it. Time is on your side. Yep. Just like that scene from
Loki.
That, sure. I was going with Green. What is it? Stephen King. I ain't never seen me a Flicker movie.
Oh, The Green Mile.
Time is on my side. The dude sings the song.
I thought that was Fallen with Denzel Washington.
It might have been that.
Is the guy that plays Casey Jones at the beginning when he's getting lethal injection?
That's it.
He's fucking singing. He's singing it at him.
Time is on my side. Yeah.
That's such a good movie.
They're bringing him. They're walking him down the hallway to be lethal injected. It's like,
oh, dude. And when he just starts, whenever they're taking him to the door and you just hear him going, "You come running back," and he's just fucking, he's just full blown fucking.
Oh, if I saw
crazy.
that, like, dude.
Yeah,
that's what we're trying to get back to, Marvel.
Yeah, right.
That good shit.
Well, speaking of Marvel and Blade is now heading for R rating, confirms director. So Blade fans can remain calm as their wish for a dark and bloody return of the Daywalker has been granted. Director Yann Demange confirms that Marvel Studios has approved an R rating for the movie, something many believed was imperative for the character and his story. One of the biggest concerns voiced by fans of characters like Deadpool and Blade when Disney bought Fox was that the House of Mouse would not respect the violent nature of their comic book iterations. Fortunately, after seeing the enormous success of the first two installments of Ryan Reynolds' adventures as the Merc with the Mouth, the studio decided to continue down the same path, and it seems that Blade will also follow that road. Demange, who will be in charge of directing the introduction of Blade into the MCU, spoke with Deadline about the project, celebrating being able to develop a more adult and mature story. They gave me the R, which is so important. I came out of this wanting to be more open, more vulnerable, and bring a more personal aspect to my work. But for Blade, we are going to have fun because Mahershala is such a deep actor. I'm excited to show a kind of ruthlessness, a roughness he has that allows him to walk the earth in a particular way. I love him for that. He's got a dignity and integrity, but there is a ferocity there that he usually keeps under the surface. I want to unleash that and put it on the screen.
So
then it goes into the history of Blade, but I'm not getting into all that.
That director, Mr. Demange, you guys name right?
Demange.
First episode of Lovecraft Country directed that.
Okay. Oh, okay.
White Boy Rick.
White Boy Rick
directed
wasn't
that.
bad.
No, it wasn't bad. I mean, he didn't write it.
Yeah.
He don't have a lot of stuff there, but like that Lovecraft Country came in.
Yeah.
He's gonna do a few other things he's got up his sleeve, but he did visual effects, produced. He's new, but he's working with him. It's like, dude.
Yeah.
I bet that's where the actor they were talking. It's like, they won't give us an R rating. And it's like, well, we can't make the movie then. Yeah. I mean,
well, and it makes me wonder because in a couple of those previous articles, they're like, and the way that they wrote that article, first of all, fuck that person for the way they wrote it. Mahershala Ali is fucking them. No, dude. Mahershala Ali apparently cares more about the Blade property than the fucking studio behind the Blade property, first of all.
Remember when it changed after Werewolf by Night came out?
Yes.
And then there was an article where they were like, oh, well, if that can be R-rated, then why can't we?
Yeah. So I think, and it makes me wonder, it's like, did Mahershala Ali agree to take less money? He's won awards. Did he agree to take less money for the ability to be a producer on the project? Yeah, because like he obviously cares about the character and he cares about the story.
It's iconic.
Yes.
Blade.
So if so, hats off to him for putting his foot down and if not, props to him for threatening to walk. Yeah. They have a diamond over there on this Blade movie with Mahershala Ali. They need to do everything they can to keep him locked in. So, but yeah, that's all the movie news. But yeah, there's several Marvel things. Look, here's the thing: the actors are still on strike. Jonathan Majors' court case is still going on. The Marvels is going to come out and fucking tank. Already know that that's going to fucking
We
tank.
got a trailer. We got the final trailer.
I can't
It's
wait.
got fucking Iron Man in it. What?
Well,
But it's like a flashback. It's like a flashback or something. It don't make sense.
So, and it's going to be something stupid where Iron Man's going to be like, "You're the best of us," and I'm going to be like,
"We got to get everybody together. You know, we need you." Yeah. And he's like a Force ghost.
Oh,
something.
So he's
and there's others.
Yeah,
this is a 2-minute little. It's like they're trying so hard to pull people in.
Yeah,
with this trailer, and that ain't it, Chief.
No, dude,
that ain't it.
Captain Marvel's not the like. Here's the thing, Marvel. You want to impress me? Quit making Captain Marvel movies. That'll impress me. Or recast her. One of those two. Give us somebody that actually has a personality.
Well, what is this? They had this character that just could have fucking rolled up and fixed everything, and somehow couldn't.
Yeah, exactly.
It didn't work that day.
Well, she can only do it in the comics.
Oh, that's right.
Brie Larson can't fucking show up and fix a goddamn thing.
That's it. It's her.
Yeah, so
she can't fix her YouTube numbers. Remember when they tried to launch a channel and like make her?
Yeah,
it was like
nobody gave a fuck. Yeah, but I'm ready for fucking trailers, bro.
Trailers, dude.
So we've got Planet of the Apes trailer here.
Yeah,
Kingdom.
This is
dude.
real,
I've watched those other Planet of the Apes movies. Loved them.
We have to go back here for Andy Serkis, like Lord of the Rings.
I mean,
that was one of the first times Andy Serkis put the suit on for Gollum.
So this is a reboot, right?
On program. I'm not sure.
Because the past few movies in the series that whole
so there ain't
thing,
no James Franco in this. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, those 3 movies still hold up. They're good.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Except
real serious.
There's one. It's the one that has Woody Harrelson in it.
War for the Planet of the Apes.
Dude, there's a scene in that. I remember I was watching it. I think I was on vacation and it just happened to be on TV. I was kicked back just watching it, and it's the scene where he's running into the encampment because Woody Harrelson's got all the other types of apes, guarding with him, and there's a moment where Caesar gets shot and he's got this thing of grenades strapped around him. The way they make him take a bullet and flip in slow motion, I fucking spit my drink out, dude. It was so fucking funny.
Yeah. That one was a little over the top, but it was good overall. I'm hoping that this is a continuation of that version of Planet of the Apes.
I think they're going to go back to like when it started and then.
Yeah. I'm fine with that.
What I want to add before I play this trailer, because I meant to say it earlier, the only way I'm all right with them replacing Kang is if it's Matthew McConaughey and he's like, I mean, things are weird, man. It's just if it's Matthew McConaughey sitting there in the cave with his feet up, Cyrus, roll his fingers together. I'll see you soon. All right. And then she stabs him. Come on.
You see, I wasn't always traveling timelines. See, until I made a temp pad. Now that was the game changer.
Oh, when the temp pad showed up, things really changed. And he's just hotboxing it the whole time with his fucking stoner voice.
There's so many, there's so gosh darn many different versions of me, man. One was playing bongos.
Yeah.
One was a high schooler.
I hung out with Woody Harrelson. Like, all right.
They might be related.
I mean,
have y'all read into that?
No.
Okay, so apparently, like, Woody Harrelson's mom had a one-night stand with somebody, and she had a baby, but put the baby up for adoption.
Could it be his brother?
Dude, we'll check into
it. Might be.
After the pod, we'll do a little dive into it. But yeah, dude, there's the theories.
Sense.
Yeah, the third brother.
They got the same energy.
Yeah, they do.
Just all calm, cool, collected.
They're from the similar area in Texas.
They probably hang out. I mean,
oh, they do. They might live together. I don't know. But I'm ready for this Planet of the Apes trailer.
Here we go. Nope.
That's the Marvel.
Yep, it backed up. Here we go.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
Well, that's on program.
Yeah.
So he's there. Bro, he got a horse. Oh. I think that was Andy Serkis doing another voice. Oh. Okay.
In this world gone mad, we won't spank the monkeys. The monkeys will spank us.
It's looking good. So we've been here before.
Mm-hmm.
Now the monkeys are showing up. The apes are like, oh, there's guns and ships but for some reason this time they evolved faster than we did.
So that, I mean, it looks like a continuation.
It does. That was definitely Andy Serkis.
Yeah.
The horse, he was riding a horse and had a hawk. He's like, I did side quest.
Yeah.
I got a hawk. His name's fucking Daryl.
Many years after the reign of Caesar, a young ape goes on a journey that will lead him to question everything he's been taught. So this is like way in the future.
That guy, the ape that it cut to that was talking and wearing the necklace, that's him. That's Andy Serkis doing the voice for that thing because it was that deep on program. I can hear him in there.
William H. Macy.
Is he directing or?
No, it's being
some others. Okay.
So Wes Ball is directing it, which we talked about earlier. That's working on the he was attached to do the Zelda movie.
Bad.
Written by Patrick Asen, Josh Friedman, and Rick Jaffa. Which one of them did Prey.
Okay.
One of them did Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Jurassic World, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Avatar: Way of Water, and that was Rick Jaffa.
Watch that, by the way.
Yeah, I need to watch it. Yeah.
I mean, at some point we're going to have to watch them both because I don't think we've covered those. So
yeah,
that's going to have to be something that goes together.
Yeah, maybe December.
Yeah.
But yeah. So it is a continuation, which is great. Like I'm down.
They're keeping it rolling.
Yeah, for sure.
See, I knew there was was James Franco?
He was in the original.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's still connected to this.
Yeah, Caesar.
He was in the reboot, the start. Did he die or something? Because
he
ain't here no more.
Whenever that gas, like they released that virus, and
the people did.
No, I think yeah, I can't remember.
Nah, there's so many.
Either the monkeys or the humans released this like thing, and it was killing the humans and also killing the monkeys. But certain people were immune to it, and certain people weren't, and he wasn't immune to it. So,
was that emotional?
Well, he died off screen.
Oh,
yeah, like they go back. They go back to the house that Caesar was raised in by Franco.
Oh, wait a minute!
Other movies.
I think I kind of remember that.
Yeah, because the house is all grown out.
Scenes like where he's where he's I don't know.
He lost train of thought. Yeah. But he went back home because he got that picture of him and Franco.
Oh yeah, I think I remember some of that.
Caesar,
I watched like 2, maybe 3 of them.
I think I've seen all of them so far.
How many?
I think there's 3.
Okay, I remember watching it, but I'm over here like
I think
look. Here's the thing, man. Like it looks cool and it's all good, but it's not the original.
Yeah,
there's just something about the way that looks and plays, and the practical effects versus the CGI.
Yeah,
chimpanzee.
So we got Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
That was the first one, yeah.
Yeah, War for the Planet of the Apes, and I was thinking there was another one, but that might be it.
Well, like the way that it started was it was the fall of humans,
and
the apes stepped up. And it's like, oh, that makes sense. You're next in line. It's you and dolphins, and they're kind of stuck.
No, there was another one. There was definitely 3 of them. Because Dawn of the Planet of the Apes was the middle one. For sure
there was 3.
What was the other one? Was it Rise?
Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
That's the one where they're like, we're taking it back.
Let's see. My internet's being super slow, or IMDb is just being... Yeah, it's 2011, weird. James Franco, yeah. So there's 3 of them so far, so this will be number 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Took a while. That was 2011, the last one?
No, the last one was 2017 with Woody Harrelson.
Okay. I don't think I've seen that one.
It's not bad. He goes crazy.
Is he the bad guy?
Yeah, it depends on what side you're on. But
sure. If you're on the chimpanzee side, he's a bad guy.
Are you team monkey or team human?
Well, I mean, when it comes down to it, I'm over here like,
who's winning?
Man has failed us.
Yeah.
I'm giving the speech the dude Hugo Weaving did. Man has failed us. Let the monkeys give it a go. And then someone's like, it's not a monkey, it's an ape. Yeah. I'm like, fuck you, Because if someone calls it, I'm like, dude, it's a monkey.
Yeah.
All monkeys are monkeys.
Yeah.
The little one from Ace Ventura, the one that Michael Jackson owned.
Monkey.
They're all monkeys to me.
Yeah.
Like orangutan. I ain't got time to sit around and learn these monkey names.
No.
They're all monkeys, dude. But
if
they're cool.
If they want to be named, they'll sign me their actual name. Caesar, got it.
Like Bobo, there was one at the zoo in Atlanta. His name was Willie B. Willie B lived to be 39 years old. He was a gorilla. But he would just sit around, like, dude, he would prop up and just look cool. Like, he knew he had fans.
Yeah.
He was like, my public awaits. He really did. He would, like, pose and just, Willie B.
Man, I wonder.
He died.
I hope they gave him a good funeral.
It was better than Harambe. Like, this dude died. He was 39.
Yeah.
He just died of, like, natural causes. Like,
yeah.
Harambe was out there trying to like save people. And he's probably gonna save that kid. They've done it before.
Yeah.
We've seen videos where they save him.
Yeah.
But they just shot him down. It was like you didn't give him
or
a
they tried to adopt him. Yeah.
Well,
I'm ready. I'm ready for the next trailer.
Sure. I hope looks everybody good, else is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What's this footage?
Old footage.
Is it? Is it all old?
Yeah. Yeah. It's old footage. Old footage.
Yeah, that was old. All right, we getting into new? Not yet.
No, this is new footage. Yeah.
Okay. Matrix. Oh. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of happening right now. This is not as lighthearted as the other.
Yeah.
Remember the other trailer?
Yeah.
Oh, they got a little. They got a little slow mo. We're Avengers. All right, space fights are cool. Cool. Oh, here's the comedy. Why does Samuel L. Jackson look different?
I don't know.
Like,
and why? And who was showing up in that Endgame
like they're
scene?
here.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's time traveling. It's time traveling. Captain America.
Is that a thing? I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
He went back and lived his life.
Yeah. Well, the
yeah.
version of him
That's
that
right.
returned the stones.
Well, he don't show up there though. He's like, I'm here.
Well, and thinking of that, like whenever he went back in time to return the stones, he went back and lived his life allegedly with Chick.
That's right.
Wouldn't that create a variant timeline with him doing that?
Make something.
So wouldn't anyway. We're not going to get into it, but yeah.
we'll have to peep it when it drops. I ain't going to the theater, but we'll have to watch the movie just to see. I think we're going to have to. I think it might make Secret Invasion make sense. I don't know about being good, but make sense.
Maybe.
Because
we'll see.
We'll have to watch it, though. We watched the other one.
Yeah.
We're Marvel locked. The Family Plan. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
We'll play it. Everybody good? Here we go.
Oh, shit.
Wahlberg, dude.
What? No.
Yeah. Hey. It's the chick from Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
She smells so pretty.
Yeah, dude. Oh, he's getting attacked. He's a former assassin. Jump around.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Damn. You've been there for how many years and then that happens? It's like,
yeah.
Look, the wife don't even know. He's like, I had a past life. All right, we're going. It has the filter of The Hangover.
Yeah. They're going to Vegas.
And due date. Yeah. Oh. We found him. Yep. That's okay. Mandalay. Yeah, you laughing now. That's a pretty good idea. They got the kid from Look Who's Talking. I don't know. Why didn't they just do the original Ice House Baby? Shit. That looked like a Netflix movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it don't look bad, but it makes sense why it's going straight to streaming, first of all.
And it's Apple. It's like, ooh, not a lot of people.
Yeah. But, you know, might peep it. Black Friday or something.
I'll watch it on the side.
Yeah. So we got some Echo.
Yep.
Echo
Marvel Studios.
Echo. Echo. Stop. Collaborate. All right.
Echo. I'm making sure nobody's got an ad, or we're all good.
No, we're good.
You good, Trav?
Yeah, I'm good.
Echo.
Have y'all seen this?
No.
I saw it on Twitter. Watch this shit. He's like, I don't know what you want. He's making fun of her. Because she can't, she's deaf. Look at this dude.
Kingpin gonna kill that dude to death.
Oh, he's gonna fuck him up.
Okay, are we getting old Kingpin back?
I mean, he's Sopranos, you know?
I like it.
You want ice cream? They do this thing in this trailer with the audio. It's kind of cool. Here it comes. There's a fight scene where the audio's not like it should be. Should have been Michael Rooker. He's trying to groom her to be the next him, but it's not taking hold. Damn, right on screen like that?
Yeah.
Look at this.
Was that Daredevil?
Was it?
I think it was.
No, you're not. Oh. He's not dead.
All episodes streaming? Woo! So they're not even going to release them. But wait, hold on. Is that streaming to Disney Plus?
Yeah, I think so. It's a show.
Because it said TV, MA, Hulu, and Disney.
I'll go back. I'll pause it.
Set your Disney Plus profile to TV MA to stream. Okay, okay.
Mature.
But
we're
dude,
getting darker. We're getting ready for Punisher, you know?
Yeah, and Daredevil. Like, here's what all I'm gonna say. We got 5 episodes here, it says.
Does it all drop same day?
All right, listen to this. Yeah, that's what it says. Ooh. So Vincent D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox are confirmed to be in all 5 episodes.
Hell yeah.
So
he was in that trailer.
Yeah, January the 10th, they're dropping all of them. They're not even releasing them as weekly. So
I'll probably watch them all pretty quick, but we can spread them out, you know?
Yeah. I mean, we could just lock in that.
Oh, and do it as a whole?
Yeah, and do the whole thing. I mean, 5 episodes. They're going to be like 30 to 45 minutes a piece. Why not?
That's the Lord of the Rings.
So, yeah.
We can do
That's the new standard.
Oh. I don't think I've ever watched it. The next one will be the longest one. I haven't even looked at the third one.
The third one, I think it's I don't think it's
not over 4 hours.
No, I think it's just the Two Towers is over 4 hours.
Well, let's get it.
All right, we got more Kevin Hart.
Well, more.
I mean, dude,
is that not Renslayer with him?
I don't know.
It looks like her, doesn't it?
Yeah, it kind of does, yeah.
Wait, you'll see her in a scene. She's here straight from Loki.
Oh, this is what she's doing in the downtime?
Yeah, Robin Banks. It looks like her, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure that's her. Same voice. They're bank robbers. Is that the dude? Is it the same safe guy from the army, not the zombie movie? Army of the Dead. What was? Yeah, it looks like him. I don't know. That guy.
Oh, shit.
Pretty sure that's Renslayer, dude. How do you get it? This is a Netflix movie.
Yeah.
Wait. That guy. I recognize those eyes now. Oh, what's the odds? This guy, those eyes. I gotta look him up. So it has Vincent D'Onofrio in it. We saw him earlier. Sam Worthington. That guy's eyes. I can't figure out who. Wait.
I mean, it looks fine.
It's got
Looks
Arthur from Peaky Blinders in it, dude. Peaky fucking Blinders, you know, like such a great show.
I mean, it looks like a Netflix movie, you know,
for sure.
Starring Kevin Hart.
Got an ad. Got to wait.
Yeah, I got South
y'all's
Park
PlayStation.
Mine's South Park.
Cool. I'm gonna pause it when it gets to the end. Hopefully it's soon. Yep. Not playing that.
All right, mine's done. Yeah.
All right. You see the name of this movie?
Bad CGI Gator. Is this real?
It is. And I thought this was funny. I saw this and was like, okay.
I mean, I'm ready to peep it.
All right.
On a raunchy getaway. Phone's not on.
Oh. Through the laptop in the water? Oh.
A reptile dysfunction? That's pretty funny.
Oh, I don't know what that guy's from. Look at this in the window. So the laptop gave him bad graphics.
Yeah.
Like, this is... Look. Did you see what it did? I like how they lean into it. They're like,
yeah,
the alligator's gonna look like shit, so let's just... That's funny. That's why I did it.
I would watch that.
PlayStation.
Yeah, I got a PlayStation.
Plus
Venom.
All right, you're wrecking our trailer. All right,
it's done. Yeah.
So
we got another Monarch.
Well, it says exclusive opening scene, so I'm guessing this is the. I hate to not drop it because it did drop this week, and it's like we want to see it, you know.
Everybody's saying it's amazing. By the way.
Well, this has John Goodman, and just carries the whole. Was this 3 minutes and 25 seconds?
Yeah.
I'm playing it. Yeah. You hear the guns?
Yeah. Is this Kong Skull Island?
I think it is. When he runs to the edge, throws it in the water, you'll see here. It's like the whole opening scene. Look at this. Yeah, he ain't running that fast.
Look at this superimposed head.
Dan ain't running that fast.
No.
No, not with that. The Super 8? He dropped it. It looks like Skull Island, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Those things were at Skull Island, yeah.
Man, if you thought you were scared of spiders,
yeah, fuck that.
Especially the small ones. The big one, watch this though. Crab people. Reunite. He got it in it's a bank bag. Money bag. Rough waters. Hang on. Troglodyte. You know?
What the fuck?
It's a hermit crab, dude. I like to get a crack at that claw with some fucking butter.
You know? Right. Some good eating right there.
Look, he's running around. Yeah. Arachnophobia up here. Oh, shit. Ripped his eye out. Man, they fell in the water. Run, you know?
Yeah, get the fuck out.
It's the whole opening scene. When does this drop? Soon, right?
Yeah. Might already be out.
No, I don't think it was out. Look, there's his little package with the film reels. Damn, look at this though. Whoa. Talk about living there a long time. It's kind of cool how it's in Japan.
Yeah. Jera.
Oh, bunch of fish. What's that? Set it aside. Yeah, that shit would be. That was like 20 years.
Yeah.
Oh, if not more. It went through the 70s. He's like, I'll set this aside. Oh, it's going to be good.
It looks great.
What is it? What was the date there?
Oh, it was covered up.
Yeah, let me go back and see if I see it. No, there's a fucking ad, man.
Yeah.
Well, I can look that up. We don't need to know that. Does anybody have an ad here?
I just skipped it. I'm good.
Well, I'm on the, I went ahead and was like,
-1.
Yep. I mean, I had to put them back to back.
Of course,
so
right?
This is the Japanese version?
Yeah, this is the Japanese follow-up to
It's crazy these are coming out at the same time. That's all I'm saying.
Great time to be a Godzilla fan.
Yeah, or live. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that didn't do it. Oh. That's the USS whatever, you know?
Yeah. Who did this?
Godzilla. Who you think did it, you cuck? Look under you. Yeah, for December.
Oh,
that's a strange time. This reminds me of that movie, that war movie we watched.
Oh, the 80,
yeah,
8800 or
yep,
the 88 or whatever.
the 88. It just look
The
at
colors.
this. This gonna be good.
Yeah.
We might have to pair this together with Monarch. Oh, here he comes. But you know what I always say when it comes to Godzilla? Fuck the city. Save the day, dude.
Yeah.
He's going to have to fuck something up. And it might be the government, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just the first one where he lets them know. Dude, they're doing a reboot. They're starting over here.
I think this is a prequel to Shin Godzilla.
The one with the long tail?
Yeah.
There it is. Orcs are around, you know?
He's about to melt something.
God. Oh, dude. A fucking prequel. Oh, shit. That's going to be so good in IMAX.
Yeah, right.
I got a good burger. Hell.
I got an ad.
Yeah, I got a good burger one.
Journey to Bethlehem.
I've seen that. I'm sorry. You have to sit through that.
All
That's
right,
not
I'm
going to
here.
go over well.
No, that's cool.
I'm back up here. We got the Fall Guy. Remember? I thought this was when I was like the Free Guy. I kind of got them mixed up. This is the Ryan Gosling stuntman movie.
Okay.
Remember? We read an article about it.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to play it. Looks good. Okay.
Is this Mad Max?
Or it's Mad Max meets, or was it Cartman Mike? Madman Mike? What was his name?
Stuntman Mike?
Stuntman. Look at this.
Mm.
A bad name. What? Emily Blunt? Is that Emily Blunt?
I think so, yeah.
It ain't James Blunt, but it could be. When he goes home, he's like Brad Pitt once upon a time.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Yeah.
This is a good idea for a movie. I'm excited to see this.
She's so charming.
She is. He is too. I'm pretty sure that's Bradley Cooper. This is. Is that Bradley Cooper? Sip of time, my Damon. Do it at the same time. Same time. He's gonna stuntman it. This looks good.
What's Riff Raff doing there?
It's Stuntman Mike. It's Brad. It's. I like how it's got that on the nose.
Yeah.
That Nick Cage movie. Just. Oh shit! Engage your core. What is this? This ain't Netflix. Oh shit! I mean, that's. Oh, hell yeah!
Looks good.
I like it.
Yeah, it looks good. Good song choice.
Yeah. Oh,
Shogun?
I don't know if this is a remake, but do y'all remember the original TV show? It was called Shogun. Do y'all remember that?
Maybe.
It was like 70s, 80s. Like, this might be connected to it. I think it is. I didn't have time to look into it, but I think David Carradine may have been on it. Like, it was, you know, like, you know?
Okay.
But we'll see who's in charge here. This has got to be a show. Yeah, this looks good. I don't think it's connected. Okay. I'm in. Dude, like Game of Thrones, but it's Japan, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's he doing there?
Yeah, why is he there?
Yeah. Was he supposed to be in Mortal Kombat? Because it's about right time for some samurai shit to come back.
Yeah.
Oh. Where's fucking Benedict Wong at? Oh. So he's going to be the person you follow. He rolls into town. This looks good.
Damn.
Yep. This does look good. I feel like he shouldn't have been in the trailer.
No.
I'm still ready for it. It looks good. It's new. It's fresh. February. Thanks.
I'm down to check it out.
Yeah.
Very much down.
It's going on the back burner. All right, next one. Ad Sherman Williams.
No, I don't have an ad.
I got to skip. All right. Stop.
Can we all agree that that FX is the most underrated studio to
Fargo,
put out bangers?
For sure.
Like, I think they have The Americans. Is that FX?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's FX. I think It's Always Sunny.
A lot of great shows, man.
The one where the guy saw the unicorn in the mirror. What was that one? He saw something weird in the mirror. Remember that? That was FX.
It was,
I think.
Yeah, that was Christopher Happy.
Yeah, that's it.
The name of it.
All right, we're at the end, boys.
Everybody
ready. Got the ad out of the way.
Oh yeah,
you're ready, but you ain't.
Step of time,
violence.
Well, They always do this. No subs. Awesome. A lot going on. Crank that pistol.
Dude, Dawson's backstory for Street Fighter looks awesome.
What's happening? Oh. Blown out voice comes in.
God damn.
What's up with this beating? Little bathtub cop beating.
Is that a pot leaf?
Upside down.
So creepy.
Well, was that a movie or what?
I don't know.
That's my new, like, that's what you sing to yourself when you're waiting on a Hot Pocket to cook.
Yeah. I'm leaving the activity. I'll give it a spot.
What are we watching next week?
The Two Towers, right? Is that the next one?
Yeah, that's the next one, yeah.
Two Towers.
Not one.
What's the, yeah, but two. What's the run time? Let me do run time. Oh, run time. The normal run time is 2 hours and 59 minutes. Let's see extended.
Well, that's the audio book. Hold on.
2 hours, 59 minutes. That's the full run time of this movie. Damn, it got its full run time out the gate.
Wait, hold on.
I'm right there with you. I had the other one copped, which was Return of the King. That's 2003.
All right, the Two Towers is 3 hours and 55 minutes.
Okay, because here's the original, 2:59. So there's at least 30 minutes. Yeah, a whole fucking hour. I'm excited.
And then
I'm over here like I'm excited to watch.
Where the fuck did it go?
Well, The Return of the King is 4 hours and 23 minutes. I can tell you that. Just from looking at it. That's
So that is the longest.
Yeah, that's it.
I thought the Two Towers was 4 hours, 4.5 hours.
I did too.
Well,
because I thought the second one was Return of the King when I was in there poking around.
Yeah.
But then I see
pokering around.
Yeah. I didn't know pokering, Gandalf.
I'm excited. So we get the Loki finale.
Oh.
Two Towers. We get Gollum in his full
he shows up. Because in that first one, they show him where he's looking through the rails. He's holding on to the wood in the mine, and he's like, order, you know? And you just see his eyes, and it's like, that's CGI as fuck. Andy Serkis, dude.
Yeah.
I feel like Andy Serkis, you know, when he gets in the shower in the morning, he probably smokes for that on-program voice.
Yeah,
he gets in the shower in the morning, does the Gollum, trying to cough up the...
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dude, I didn't know that the dude that plays fucking Gimli is also the guy from fucking Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Gimli.
Yeah, so the guy that plays the dwarf in Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah.
He plays Sulla from Raiders of the Lost Ark, the guy that lives in Egypt that's hanging out with... Yeah, that's the same guy.
Yeah, the guy goes, "You go get him, Indiana Jones."
Yeah. That's crazy.
Holy shit. That makes sense when you see his face because he's got the nose.
Yeah.
Like, what?
On one of the trivia things, it said that Christopher Lee was the only cast member that actually was able to meet J.R.R. Tolkien.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. You ever seen that video of him where he's like, I got some dark bugs?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Gimli was in The Living Daylights 007. He was in that movie.
Wow.
Because of my Plex. It pulls him up and puts him in there. It's like, yo, he was in this movie. Small role. Yeah.
Dude, the life that Christopher Lee lived, though.
Oh, it's going to be huge. He's so fucking old. Like,
let's see.
That man is larger than life.
Oh, he goes back, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Well, you know, his one of the big trivias from Lord of the Rings was that he corrected Peter Jackson's directing on how to kill a man from behind because he actually has seen it happen
in war.
So because he explains, he was like, you know, it's not like in the movies where someone stabs and they go, you know, like he goes, when you come up behind someone and you stab them in the back, like if you're ghosting them,
you don't make a sound.
They just take a deep gasp and go, and then they're gone.
They're dead.
Wild. What a great fucking life that dude lived.
That one interview of him where he was like, the occult.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy. Y'all seen it?
He said he's had a few of them. He goes, he just more or less warns. He's like, you know, when you look up for that stuff, you have to be careful because it'll corrupt your soul.
Full Mighty Boosh, the occult.
It's good for your digestion.
That's it. All right, what's the next movie?
Two Towers.
Two Towers. Loki. The motherfucking checks in the mail.
And the flag is fucking raised.